Welcome to another episode of the Fill Your Soul podcast. I'm your host, Brad Noall Brown, along with Amanda K. Gillen, and we're here to talk to you about all things foot zoning. Let's jump into our next episode. This is, if you're just jumping in, this is Brad Noall, owner and instructor for We Do Feet Seminars.
What's up?
He's also my dad.
Cool.
He's here to answer some questions for us. So our next question that we have for you is, what is our free continuing education policy for We Do Feet Seminars?
I love this question because this is one of the things that really kind of sets us apart from everything else, is that we actually have the, what we do is when you go through our course and when you have completed our course and you're in good standing with our school, with our ethics program, and when your financial agreement's taken care of that way, and you've graduated from our course, you can come back to your instructor's course for the rest of your life for free.
Yes.
So if you went to your class, and let's say that someone went to your class like 5 years ago,
my class is
yours
free.
as Bree's class, the one that she taught, that person can come back now 5 years later and go back through your class, pay for new books, but no additional cost. So literally get to sit through an entire training again for free. That's the one thing as our school we offer, and it's a big thing. So you get to come back to your instructor for the rest of your life for free to get training.
And here's the thing, guys. I've had many people, we call them auditors as our students, people who come back and audit our class. The things they pick up on are
beautiful,
so much bigger than they did the first class, because they're not as overwhelmed and it's not so much information. So you can kind of more sit back and absorb better, right?
Right. And they're not like, I'm holding a foot. It's like, okay, I got this.
There's a comfortable confidence that everyone is always just like, we didn't learn that in that first class. I'm like, we did,
but it just
but you just missed it because it just was so much.
We give so much in the classes, and that's what I love about it, is you get to come back forever. And that's really a commitment that we as a school give. And I don't think I've ever heard of any other training out there that gives that type of thing. There might be, but for us, it's very unique. But here's a beautiful story. Our very first class back in 2000, I think it's 2001.
2001.
I won't put her name out, but she knows who she is. She's seen it. She went through a course and she came back like 22 years later, like 21 years later, like a couple of years ago through my class. I taught her.
And she had her
She got to, I know. It's like our old little flip charts.
Yeah.
And she was able to come through our class again. Now, she had been zoning for that 20 years. And she's like, we learned so much more. And she got to go through the entire course again. She bought new books, of course. And she graduated again. She got a whole new certificate. And so that's a beautiful thing, that because we know the zone's evolving. If you listen back a couple episodes, we know we're constantly doing that kind of stuff. Is how do we learn more? How do we get the advanced stuff? You come back and audit your teacher's class. And the beautiful thing is you can now go back through 1 or 2 days of the class or sit through their entire course as a graduate student of that instructor.
Yes.
Here's
you can go to any of his classes, any of the owner of the school, Brad Noall, this guy right here. You can attend any of his classes for free as well.
So they go through your class.
Yep.
And they're like, your dad's way cool. I like his dad jokes. So I'm going to go to his class.
I can go to you.
Yeah, because my jokes are funny.
Exactly.
And you could actually sit through any of my classes. So me as the owner, I allow any of our graduates to come back through my class. And that's a beautiful. Right now I have, I'm going to class. I've got 8 or 9 different auditors in my class right now. Yes. And that's beautiful. I love teaching that because I'm reconnecting with those students that have graduated years and years ago. And we're making sure they're zoning. And that's a beautiful way to go back through the basic process, because it's the process. You're going through area 1, 2, 3, and 4 and learning how to use it, right? Yes. Over 9 months. But what if they want to go I just need a touch-up class? What do you
So if they just need a quick touch-up class, they could always come to mine, my dad's, but they can also go to another instructor's as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just at a very low fee. So it's like $50 a day. So there's
if one of my students wanted to go through your class.
Yes, exactly. They could come to my class for $50 a day. That's a quick touch-up. As well as what we really have been stepping into is these 2-day classes.
Which have been fantastic. Oh
They've
my
been
gosh, so good on this.
We call them Refresh, Renew, and Reconnect. And so instead of going through the whole 9-month class, this is just a focused.
It's an advanced people that know the zone.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like going, we are like, you've done some on specifically for pregnancies and those type of things. And I've done some specifically for the nervous system.
Yes.
And every class is unique based off of the instructor. And every instructor gets to teach their own refresh, renew, and reconnect class. Exactly. It's because it's so nice to get our old zoners together like for a couple of days. Mm-hmm. They're like, I don't have time to sit through a whole class. I know I wanted to do this here, but what do you got that's just give me a bump? Yep. Check it from the neck up. And we do those periodically for our each instructor does them, and the cost is for the 2 days anywhere between like $250 to $300. Yeah. So it just depends on the instructor what they're teaching.
And if there's ever an interest, even for like a 1 day, like just know that the instructors are willing to help you if you have
absolutely. Yeah, if you would need a 1 day class, they were able to adapt to those type of things too. And you know, and we get so many new programs at the school. That's a whole other topic. So
we love it. We've really have tried to adjust the curriculum to hit every need at any level. So that's the goal. So if you haven't looked over the 5 levels of education, make sure that you go to the website and look into that. That's just under courses.wedefeet.net. But in the meantime, I really encourage all graduates to take advantage of the free continuing education.
Such a beautiful opportunity to come back and to retouch the feet back and remember those things, the gifts and the reasons you got back into zoning, the reason you got into zoning years ago, whenever it was, 6 months ago or a year ago or 20 years ago. I mean, to really that's why I got into this, because getting into that is the heart.
Yes.
That's if we can have one auditor come back to our classes, and that one auditor picks up one more set of feet and does one more zone that changes the world. We don't know. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's all about, that one more zone.
And making that connection again to those people is so wonderful and so beautiful as an instructor, but also as a practitioner.
Very much so.
So I do have one more question before we wrap up this episode. What about if someone took our course, but their instructor is no longer teaching for us?
Yeah.
You guys still qualify. Will you kind of go through that? And
we have an adoption process, and you know, we always joke at graduation you're going to get adopted into our family, but we do have an instructor adoption process where we can actually, hey, that instructor is not teaching for us anymore. They've moved on to other things. We're still a graduate of our school. You're still a part of our community. We will take you in, make you one of our special students. Yeah. And you can kind of choose your instructor who you go with. Like, hey, I live next to I'm close to Elena, or I'm close to Quine up there. Let's adopt him and stuff like that.
Exactly. And so if that is something that as a graduate, if your instructor is no longer teaching, reach out to me or my dad, and we will get you adopted by someone.
We'll bring you in. You're one of the family. Okay.
I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Thanks, you guys.